This presentation is going to be for setting up basic layers. To set up layers, there are two places that you can go to do this. It's the Layer Properties Manager. You can either go to the Layers toolbar and click this button, or you can go to Format, Layers. When the Layer Manager comes up, you're going to have several layers available to you. Layer 0 is available in every drawing that's created in AutoCAD. And now in 2006, Def Points is also available in every drawing in AutoCAD. Def Points deals with definition points used in dimensioning. In past versions, or probably in your AutoCAD Lite, you'll notice that Def Points does not exist to begin with, but is created later at any time that you would add dimensions to your drawing. But as of 2006, they've had Def Points become part of the default options for layers. Layer 0 is the default layer in all AutoCAD drawings to begin with. And then you can create new layers. So let's start by creating new layers. We go up on the Layer toolbar and I create new layers just by clicking on it. And then it says Layer 1. I'll type in a new layer name. Let's call it Lines. And I'll click another new layer. Let's call it Circles. And I'll click another new layer. Let's call it Hidden. And I'll click another new layer and I'll call it Center. Okay, so I've added 4 new layers fairly quickly. And when you go across the Layer Manager, the next item here is On-Off with the light bulb. So you can click something on and or off and it turns that layer on or off on the drawing. So remember we said that layers is used for organizing drawings, different items and different objects in drawings, so that you have the ability to turn things on or off. Well, this is how you would do that. And there's another shortcut that I'll show you later with the drop-down box. Then there's also Freeze Thaw, where it's got the sunshine or the snowflake. Basically, Freeze Thaw and the on and off is virtually the same, with the exception that the Freeze Thaw is better because when you turn something off in AutoCAD Regenerate, it still thinks of it in the background. If you freeze something, it's not on your screen, and when you regenerate the drawing, AutoCAD does not even think about it. So it saves a little bit of time or processing that way. Another thing you should know is you can draw in a layer that's been turned off. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. And you cannot draw or have the current layer frozen. So if you ever try to switch something and it says cannot draw, it's frozen layer, that's what it is. The layer's been frozen and you cannot make that the current layer. The next item is for locking or unlocking items. So if you click on the paddle lock and it's in the lock position, that means that the entities that are in that layer cannot be selected. They will visually show up on the screen, but they will not be able to be selected. This is a nice way to avoid accidentally changing something. Do not mistake it for a security item because it's so easy for somebody to go in here and just simply unlock it or lock it. So it's just for avoiding accidental object selection. I'm going to unlock. The next you have color. When you click on where it says white, the little box, you will get a select color dialog box to come up. And down here where you have the color index, where I click on red, yellow, green, and notice that over here where it says green, the colors are actually stating what they are. Cyan, blue, magenta, white, and then from that point on it goes to color 8, 9, 10, all the way through 256. If you pick anywhere up here, you know, there's color 174. If you pick anywhere up above, you're going to get numbered colors, and you can kind of pick that way. So this is just an index of common colors. Typically, the first 7 primary colors are used, the ones that are labeled by name. Red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, magenta, and white. The other ones can be used when you want to pick colors beyond the primary 7. When we get into color renderings in future classes and stuff, you may want to go to True Color. That's the True Color tab. And then you could pick colors that have a mixture or different hue of a specific color that you're looking for. You also have color books. So when you get into specific rendering, you can go through different color books and find all sorts of different colors so that when you're rendering something, rendering a room, then you can pick precisely something that can be purchased. So after rendering, you can go to a paint store and match something so that it's a true color. I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to click on that again to change it back, I guess. Let's make our lines yellow. I'm going to say OK. I'll change our circles so that they're magenta. I'll say OK. Hidden lines, red. OK. And center lines, cyan. OK. So I've set all of those colors. And for line types, we use the next column called Line Type. Notice that the layers have automatically alphabetized themselves, starting with center on the top. I'm going to click on where it says continuous to change the line type. Notice that the line type, there's only one line type available in the AutoCAD drawing, and that's continuous line type. So for additional line types, you need to load them. So I click on Load. It brings up the Load or Reload Line Types dialog box. And I'm going to scroll down until I find something that would be center. And I'm going to use the Center 2 line type. I click OK. Now, notice if I just click OK, continuous is still highlighted, so that would be the one that it's set at. We need to actually go back and now select Center 2, the one that I've just loaded, so that becomes the line type. That's probably one of the most common mistakes of new users is forgetting to do that. Heck, I even do that still. So it says Center 2 is the line type. I'm going to go down to Hidden, click where it says Continuous to load a hidden line type. I go down and I'm going to use Hidden 2. And there's Hidden, Hidden 2, Hidden times 2. There's just different sizes and variations. I prefer to use the ones with the 2's behind them, but it's personal preference. So I say OK. And again, make sure that I select Hidden 2, then click OK. The other ones are going to leave as continuous. Next, so line type deals with the different types of lines. Continuous lines, hidden lines, phantom lines, center lines, different types of lines. Line weight deals with line thicknesses. So I'm going to go to where it says Default and click where it says Center Line. And I'm going to set my default to 0.20 millimeters. I'm going to say OK. For circles, let's say 0.30 millimeters. And for hidden lines, let's make them 0.15, okay? And my regular lines, let's make them, I'm going to scroll down, make them 0.5, and say OK. Okay, there's a few more options if I scroll across here. We will not worry about plot styles at this point. That'll come way later in future drawing classes, where it's more applicable. Where it says plot, that's where you can either have things plot or not plot. If you click on it and there's a red line through it, it means that that layer will not plot. I'm going to click off. Also notice that the depth points layer can never be plotted. So when you click on that to turn it on or something, it's all grayed out. You get an error message that says the depth points layer cannot be plotted. Just say OK. And then description, if you want to give descriptions of the layers other than what you used for the name, you could do that here also. I typically leave it the same because I give it a very descriptive name to begin with. And when I'm all done now, I'm going to click Apply, and then I'll click OK to accept everything that I've created. If you accidentally cancel out, you will lose everything that you've done. So make sure that you apply those changes and then click OK to accept them. You get back to your drawing screen, and now you're ready to go. I'm going to go up to the drop-down box on the Layers toolbar. And the drop-down box, you'll notice that I have Layer 0, Center, Circles, Depth Points, Hidden, and Lines. This is a quick way to demonstrate how to turn layers on or off, freeze and thaw, freeze and viewports, lock or unlock them, and just simply see their color and see their descriptive name. And we'll cover that in the next demonstration where we actually draw with layers. I'm going to hit Escape to make the drop-down box pop back up. And if you have any questions, make sure to contact me. Otherwise, this concludes the presentation for setting up and understanding basic layers.